Well, hey friends, this is Jennifer, and this is the Jennifer Allwood Show, the podcast for women who want to find freedom in both their life and in their business. I own a multi-7-figure-a-year coaching business. I'm also a certified life coach. So I have the honor of helping thousands of women every single month make money in the online space and help them to get unstuck from whatever is holding them back, all without sacrificing their faith or their family. In this show, you're going to get the very best life and business advice, always with a healthy dose of Jesus. So buckle in, my friend. I'm so excited that you are here. Oh, hey, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 350. I'm in a conundrum about what do I name this episode. If I name it what I want it, which is to not believe your own BS, I will inevitably get some emails. You can't say BS. Okay. All right. Let's talk about that plank in your own eye. So if I say, don't believe your own nonsense, though, that's just not as strong. So listen, let's just see. How else can I frame this? How else can I say this? Don't believe your own BS is, gosh, that feels just the best. Don't believe your own stories. Don't believe your own lies. Don't believe what you tell yourself. How about that? There we go. We're going to have a quick family chat. But what I want you to know, first of all, is that this episode is brought to you by Good Ranchers. You can go to goodranchers.com and use the code GEN20, that's JEN20, to get $20 off your order of having meat delivered right to your doorstep. It is a phenomenal service, my friend. So again, that's goodranchers.com. So, okay, here's the podcast episode for today. I'm going to tell you how this came about. I was in my inner circle recently doing a Q&A. And before I went in, and I do it twice a month where I go in and do a live Q&A and they can come up on the screen or send me questions and I'll answer anything about business, right? And before I went live this last time to answer questions, I just had this thought, like, I need to have a family chat with some of the people who are in my inner circle. I just kept thinking, there are so many people who need me to like give them a hug, but also like give them a swift kick in the booty at the same time. Because sometimes love means not allowing you to believe your own nonsense. Sometimes love means telling you, listen, you've got to think differently. Sometimes love means telling people like what you're doing is not helping you or your future. And I want to call you up and call you up higher to something different. And so I got done with that training and I told my team, you know what? I think this was so important that I literally want to share just a clip of it with my podcast. I also want to tell people, if you are like, good grief, Jen, I really need to get in that group with you. I'm going to give you a special link. It's creatorsinnercircle.com/get-in, all one word, get in. And you can join me in my inner circle right now. Okay. Here's the excerpt from my coaching. Brace yourself, but I think you're going to love it. There are a lot of you in here who are barely using social media. You either have not started it yet, or you've started it and you're not using it. And I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why. I can't. Because the truth of the matter is, if you want a life any different from average, you can't behave in average ways. You can't. And you can't think like all of the people around you. And some of you are in a position where you've got to get different people around you. Because I had several people last night. It's really interesting when we're in the middle of a launch, like with the Better Way, like we were, right? A lot of the questions that I get, they're very personal and, with like details. And so there were more than one person last night who were in my DMs and who said, I talked to a family member about starting this business and they think that I'm crazy. And I'm like, why are you talking to people that are not entrepreneurs? Of course, they're going to tell you they're crazy. And you can look them in the face and you can tell them, and you're crazy for going to a 9-to-5 job that's lame and you hate. How about that? Why are you sharing your dreams with people who are just going to piss all over them? Excuse my bluntness, but some of you, I just want to like come through the screen and shake you this morning. There is a real live world going on with real live things happening. And I'm not talking about Trump. I'm not talking about Budweiser. I'm not talking about any of that. Do you guys understand that like in the last couple of weeks, like China and Russia have made like alliances and stuff? Do you realize that there are 8 countries that are now no longer using the dollar at all? I mean, we have real live things that are happening in the world that are going to affect us in financial ways. And you guys are worried about looking foolish on social media. There's no time for that. You have family members that need you. You have children that need for you to start doing something with the money that you're investing. You're here every month, and I'm glad to have you show up. I'm glad to have you here, honestly. But what pains me is that you're just here listening to me and you're doing nothing with the information. It was honestly really bothering me last night because I'm like, I hate it that there's just people in here listening to me and they're like, we love you, Jen, but they're literally not doing anything with their business and wondering why their life isn't changing. And the truth of the matter is, you might not be cut out for entrepreneurship because you can't be okay with just listening to your own BS if you're an entrepreneur. If I listened to every thought I had this week, while I was launching the Better Way this week, wow, I would have quit the day that we opened up the cart. If I had believed my own BS, because trust me, I've got the same BS up here that you guys do. I've got the same inner critic that you do. I tell myself the same stories that you do. I got hammered on social media this week in not one place, but 2. I got taken to the mat from a complete stranger who's obviously not well in her mind. Okay. So it wasn't a fabulous week. I too had stuff going on in my personal life. I have a sibling off the rails. I have a kiddo that needs me. So I am going through the same thing that the rest of you are. It's not like I have some special superpower here. But you guys you'll get up and you'll go to a job that you hate and you'll perform there because somebody's holding your feet to the fire. But you won't give your own business that same attention. And you won't give your own business that same importance and relevance and urgency. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. If you feel like God has called you to this business, which I believe the majority of you feel like you have been called to whatever it is that you've started, I believe the majority of you feel like that's what you're supposed to be starting. You're sitting there thinking, God, give me more, but you're not doing anything with what He's already given you. The Bible says to whom much is given, much will be required. You've been given an idea, you're probably going to be required to do something with it. You've been given a talent, you're probably going to be required to do something with it. Nothing worth having ever comes easy. A good marriage, good friendships, good relationship, nothing comes easy. If you think business is going to be easy, you are so wrong. If you think you're going to feel like it every day, you won't. I don't feel like being here today. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted after 8 days of, teaching a workshop and being in here with you guys and being live and having the pull of things in my personal life as well. And there's always a price to be paid every time we launch. Hey friends, Jason and I are absolutely loving our Good Ranchers meat that we're getting delivered right to our doorstep. It's from Good Ranchers, which is American meat delivered. And right now you can get $240 of free bacon in your first year of their meat delivery service. That's 1.5 pounds of bacon in every single box. Use the code GEN20, that's JEN20, to get $20 off of your order. Also, when you do sign up, you lock in your price and avoid any potential meat inflation, which I don't know about you, but I think everybody should just kind of have on their radar at the moment. So every subscription gets their price lock guarantee. This is the highest quality meat in America. Go to goodranchers.com and use the code GEN20 for $20 off your order. There's always things that when we are taking more ground, because that's what it is. It's not because Jennifer's taking ground, by the way, but when the Lord is taking more ground by way of People are signing up for my classes. They're figuring out how to get free financially. They're figuring out how to grow their business in a way that's going to allow them to hire other people and to be able to give more and things like that. My team always pays the price. And you're going to have to pay the price for your own growth as well. And it sucks. It's not fun. But the opposite of that is that spirit of hand wringing. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. Well, join the club. We're all scared. Right? It doesn't mean that you get to just stop. So, okay. So I'm going to take a deep breath, and we're going to take a deep breath as a family here. Every once in a while, you just need a good family chat. So now that the hard part's over, here's what I want to leave some of you with. If you have not started a Facebook business page, you start it today. Okay. Like if you can't even hold yourself to that, you can't have a business. I love you, but you're never going to be able to face the things that come up in business if you can't even have the courage to start a Facebook business page. It will take you approximately 10 seconds. If you can't figure out how to get 10 seconds in your day today, girl, you got to get some more margin in your schedule. To start a Facebook business page, it goes that quickly. Okay. Next, I want you to go start an Instagram. Now, a lot of you are going to tell me, okay, I already have an Instagram. Okay, fine. Then here's what I want to make sure, that your name is not CC411382 Missouri on Instagram. Nobody's going to buy anything from that. You need your business name to be consistent on Facebook, and you need your business name to be consistent on Instagram. I refuse to let you guys believe your own nonsense. Seriously, business is not easy. If you thought this was going to be easy, you were kidding yourself. But it's also not as hard as you think to force yourself to do something every day, to work in it. Okay. Next thing, if you do not have your an email started yet for your business, that is going to be your next thing of business. I can give you, let's say, till the end of the week. Okay. I won't make you do that today, but you can, by the end of the week, some of you have got to get an email list started. How many of you got approximately 9,087,432 emails from me this week, right? Inviting you into the Better Way program. Email works. Email works better than social media when it comes to selling. 75% of our sales this week. You know what? Actually, I'll have better numbers after we do a debrief today. But I'm guessing that it'll be closer to 85% of our sales this week of getting all these women into the Better Way program did not come from the few Instagram stories I did and Facebook posts. They came from my email list. So if you go into the inner circle on Facebook, there is Tracy. Let me see. Tracy, tell me where they get the email training, if you would. I know that there's a master class in the guides called All Things Facebook, and one that's All Things Instagram. Is it in the social media guide where we have? Okay, it's in the Grow Your Email guide. Thank you, Tracy. Go find that in Inner Circle. Do that today. All right. Listen, I'm telling you guys, if you continue to let your feelings lead you, you're never going to grow your business. You know what? I feel overwhelmed today. Stand in line. Me too. Still get to work. I mean, I love you, but that's the bottom line. I'm overwhelmed too. I want to just nap today too. But when you are a business owner, and for some of you, I just need you to start calling yourself that. I own a business. Stop jacking around with a little hobby that's paying you $50 a month. Of course you can't quit your day job for that. Of course you're never going to be able to change your life with that. Can we please start actually treating your business as a business and stop just tinkling with it? Listen, I don't want God tinkling with me. I don't want God just giving me like little crumbs. Why do we think it's okay to give him back that? I was listening to Pastor Darius Daniels the other day, who I just love so much, love him and his wife, Shamika. And he was preaching on a podcast, and he said, something that I wrote down. Hang on. Sorry, my phone's ringing here. He said, he was talking about people that really have a desire people that are hungry, people that want something different. And he said, the hungry go hunting. And I was like, that is so good. That is so good. The hungry go hunting. Because if you really don't want to have financial freedom and you really don't want to have time freedom, it's no wonder that you don't get up and do anything with your business. So I love you. That's our family chat today. Gosh, I hope you loved that. I hope that was inspiring. I hope that you felt like everything that I said was in love, because I can't allow some of you to stay stuck. I can't allow you to think you're the same thoughts and to believe what you're thinking, because I know that if you want a life that's any different than average, then you're going to have to do and spend your time in ways that are not average. Yes, business is hard, but so is staying stuck. It's all hard. Pick your heart, right? And if you loved that, if you're like, I am so glad that you just like kind of called me out on some of my own nonsense. And if you want to get into my inner circle, I'm going to give you what's called a backdoor link. So that basically means that my inner circle is not open, but for people that listen to this podcast, they can go join me still. You can go to creatorsinnercircle.com. It's called Creators Inner Circle because we're creating a different life for ourselves. So creatorsinnercircle.com/get-in. The two words get in, all smushed together. For some of you, this is the right time to join. You're finally like, oh, now I understand her style of coaching. Okay, yeah, it's probably time I got in there. And I'll be anticipating who I will see inside. Bless you, my friends. I'll see you next week on the podcast. Bye-bye. Friend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast again this week. I'm so honored that you come back for every episode and that you share the Jennifer Allwood Show with your friends and family. Every time I see you guys post about it on Instagram or Facebook or something, it just makes me do a little happy. So thank you. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast if you never want to miss an episode. So you can go to Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Spotify or any of the other podcasting places and subscribe each week so that every week you get the new episode when it releases. So just know that I love bringing you relevant content. I love bringing you great guests. And one of the ways you can help us here at Team Allwood is by leaving the podcast a review. So if you have just a second to do that, would you go over and leave a review for the Jennifer Allwood Show? Thank you again. You're amazing. I'm honored to be here. Until next week. Bye-bye.